I love how everyone's facts about themselves were about their Ivy League education and their professional career. Mine's dildos.
Dildos
and
and
myself.
Hey, I'm Ned.
I'm Eugene.
Hey, I'm Zack.
And I'm Keith. We are the Try Guys, and today we're here with Glamour to fact check some fans on the internet.
Cause, you can write anything on Wikipedia, so we're here to get the record straight.
Yeah, Ned could be single. And I could be straight.
Let's do this.
Let's start with Reddit.
Oh, we're starting with Reddit?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Ugh. I left the door open writes, the DUI series cost them $40,000? I can't imagine the money and time and resources that go into such series. Correct. It was a 4-part series all about driving under the influence where we made a closed course of over 1,000 cones. We actually got drunk, high, sleep deprived, and we're texting while driving on this closed course. It was very expensive to produce, both renting the location, hiring 15, 20-person crew, rented a drone.
I would actually say for a video of that scope and scale, $40,000, remarkably cheap.
That's $10K a video. That's not bad. However, for every video that costs $10,000, we're also making videos that cost $300.
Also, the safety parameters of filming something legally that is technically illegal boosted some of the costs.
We had to get a police escort.
Here's a little fun fact. It is illegal to drive under the influence even on private property.
Even if you're on a tractor on your farm.
I think they technically could still arrest us. Statute of
Where's
limitations?
the proof?
Dumb but hopeful writes, my respect for Ned grew tenfold when they talked about the infrastructure for the new company. All that paperwork and being responsible for all the employees seems to fall on his shoulders. Correct.
Especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
But not entirely true now because we hired employees to take off some of these burdens and make sure everyone has an equal amount of responsibilities rather than Ned having to do all of it. But he certainly does oversee the person who oversees all of those things.
I think out of the 4 of us, I tend to take on business tasks, the HR adjacent tasks.
Not that he's necessarily doing it out of just the goodness of his heart. It's because the other 3 of us would tank the company immediately.
Perhaps, yeah.
But he likes it,
likes
and
it.
he knows how to do it. He loves Excel. Eugene made a surprise appearance in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's true.
He is. He's in one episode, and apparently he had a really fun time. None of us were jealous.
I was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine for just one scene. I'm this haughty front door person to a club.
Yeah, and you were also hot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And
but
then
you mean like you were mean.
Yeah, I was mean. I was trying to reject Andy Samberg and Chelsea Peretti from going into this club, but they pulled out their phone and pretended to talk to Daddy. And so I let them in.
Although it is factually incorrect because it wasn't a surprise. Everybody knew about it.
IllinoisState.edu.
Oh my gosh. They have, I guess they would have things about me.
About me?
Yeah, about you.
Wow, I didn't know. That's crazy. Coming to Illinois State on a French horn scholarship, Habersberger was involved heavily in performance on campus.
It's true. I did get a French horn scholarship to be a music major. However, in the preview, which is when you go to the college for a weekend, just to get your bearings and learn about it, then you go back home, then you actually move into college, there were all these cool activities, and I got to do improv as one of them, and I had always been thinking I love doing music, but I like performing without a French horn too, so I switched my majors, and in doing that, I lost my French horn scholarship.
I've never met someone who's played French horn who talks so much about playing French horn. Our entire tour, with this huge rock performance at the end, what was Keith's idea? He's going to pop up.
He wanted to do a
not
French horn.
Not for an electric guitar solo. A French horn solo. That's some real nerd.
Now we're moving on to famous birthdays.
Zack started making short movies as early as age 10 using Legos and stuffed animals.
Correct. I got this thing, the Lego Steven Spielberg Movie Maker Kit. Absolutely changed my life. All my early movies were made in my bedroom, and everything I know about filmmaking, I know from Legos.
I had that same journey, but starting at age 22. And I also used Legos and stuffed animals.
That's actually something that Zack and I bonded over, because also some of my first movies are Lego, stop action, just things of you're moving your little figurines around.
Most of my early movies are teddy bear ripoffs of popular movies.
Take 3. Hi, I'm Zack Cornfeld, producer, co-director, and co-writer of all Teddy movies.
So I have the Bear Witch Project, Jurassic Bark, Paw Wars, of course.
I cringe at my early work.
Ned went to chess camp and built model rockets growing up.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Yeah, that is true, actually. I did a week-long summer day camp that was called Chess Camp. Just went there and played chess every day, learned the rules.
This is where Zach and Keith would say nerd.
Yeah, that one's I accept.
Hey, chess is getting super cool.
Chess is, yeah.
Queen's Gambit?
Queen's Gambit.
Model rockets? SpaceX?
October Sky, SpaceX, yeah. Basically, if you could put an Estes rocket engine in it, I tried it.
Zack worked as an intern at the Weinstein Company and was a production assistant on Step Up 3D.
Those are both true. I had many run-ins with Harvey Weinstein. Took that off my resume. He is a garbage monster human, can confirm.
But Step Up 3D.
My name is in the credits in 3D, which is hilarious.
That's the best kind of credit.
Good.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I was working in the production office. I got to go to set a little bit. It was just my first exposure to working on a real movie set. It was very fun. I think I was also...
in the movie because you were such a good dancer.
Yes. Yeah. I was mainly a choreographer, uncredited, but...
Yeah.
Moving on to Try Guys fandom.
Eugene has 3 dogs named Emma, Pesto, and Kimbap.
Correct.
Kimbap is the most recent addition. They went to a rescue place and brought him back because he seemed the calmest. Kimbap's a nut.
I have 3 dogs. My rule is the larger spaces I move into, that equates to another dog.
Yeah, this was like a condition you gave to your partner on...
If I got a house for the first time, because I always lived in this cruddy little apartment, that I thought equaled at least 2 more dogs or a large dog. But he really does not want to pick up big poop. Ned used to be a chemist and Yale graduate and is often teased, mainly by Zack, because of this.
That's right. I was a chemist and a Yale graduate. I both got a degree in chemistry and I worked as an R&D chemist in Chicago. Am I often teased mainly by Zack because of it? I don't think so. You think so?
Mainly by Zack.
Well, definitely mainly by Zack.
Like
if there's
anytime
anyone doing teasing.
We all tease him pretty equally. And also, you have to remember, anytime you tease somebody for going to an Ivy League school, it is out of jealousy.
It's a dunk on ourselves.
Yeah.
Porcelain Bowties comments, I think Ned's claustrophobic. I believe he said it in a video, but I don't think Eugene is. He just doesn't like being touched.
Are you claustrophobic?
I don't think so, no.
Ooh, our first wrong answer.
Fact check! I'm not claustrophobic. I'll put it out there. I am afraid of heights. But a lot of people are.
And so is Keith. Keith is really afraid of heights.
Yeah.
The second part of this statement is true. I do not like being touched, but that's universally known.
I don't think he loves affection,
Not his favorite.
but I don't think he hates it as much as he plays. Or at least that's what we've decided because we like to give him affection.
Corrected.
Maggie once found a giant black latex dildo in Zack's pillow. Zack?
True. That is 100% true. I worked on a Lonely Island music video that had a ton of dicks, and so I brought home a bunch of dildos. This one specifically had a suction cup on the back. So my roommates and I lived with 2 dudes. We would just hide dildos in each other's rooms. Surprise dildo. You could stick it to showers.
Hilarious.
Put it in like their medicine cabinet. So Maggie, early in our relationship, is sleeping over. And we get the waft of latex in our room. She goes to adjust the pillow, and she goes, Zack, what's this? I feel it. I grab the dildo and scream, no!
I only wish that when you threw the dildo that it had landed on something that it had stuck to, you know?
I don't know if he did it as a prank on her or if he just happened to forget that it was there. Knowing Zack, he forgot.
I think he just forgot.
Yeah.
We did get rid of the dildos. Mixed feelings about that.
They kept one.
On their first date, they went to spend some more time together and went for ice cream despite the fact that both Maggie and Zack are lactose intolerant. That is true. Yeah, we had a nice first date and she suggested ice cream and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna ruin this. Meanwhile, I didn't know that it was also terrible for her. So we both ate ice cream, had a great time, and then I my brains out.
Next up, we got some Wikipedia. Fulmer previously had a fear of dogs stemming from a Doberman attack as a young child, but was able to overcome his phobia with the adoption of his dog. Correct!
My mom tells a story that a Doberman jumped in my stroller as a kid, but really I've just kind of been always comfortable around dogs.
So it wasn't an attack.
Yeah, no, it wasn't an attack.
It was just
you would know
a surprising lunge.
I don't know if he's 100% over it, but he's definitely...
No, we were taking pictures in front of somebody else's house the other day, and that person didn't like that, and they came out with their big dog, and it freaked Ned the out. So I will say he's not over it.
It was a scary bark, but he was affected. As a child, Zack appeared in an episode of Saturday Night Live hosted by Elijah Wood. That's true.
Zack loves to tell this story. Zack's a big New York boy. He's from somewhere called Scarsdale. Westchester.
The big lights.
The fancy Jewish neighborhood.
City living.
I guess I had like a fledgling child acting career that never really went anywhere, but I was on SNL twice actually, but only one of them aired. First time was with Paris Hilton and Reverend Al Sharpton hosting, and then the next week they brought me back. I got to be on with Elijah Wood, Maya Rudolph, Horatio Sands, Rachel Dratch. It was the Wake Up Wakefield sketch. It was just so cool. It's also the same week, like literally days apart, that I almost lost a testicle.
Equally hilarious stories.
Maya Rudolph was there for both.
Early on, Eugene lost his Texas accent by the prodding of his sister, who told him he might face difficulties getting into Ivy League schools. That is 100% correct, and I do not know why that's in Wikipedia.
Wow.
We grew up in a small Texas town, and she would hit me on the back of the head every time I would say things like naked or oak, and she would beat me up because she said I couldn't get into Ivy League school if I sounded like a backcountry hick. And then she got into Yale.
An Ivy League school.
Yep.
Wow.
So she was right.
And now it's time for YouTube. Good old YouTube.
Now this is very exciting. YouTube comments, exclusively sweet and wonderful.
I'm honestly very impressed they found anything positive on Reddit.
Today we are getting officially sorted into our Harry Potter houses.
Lindsay Stranger comments. My guess is for the ending. Eugene, Ravenclaw, Ned, Gryffindor, Keith, Hufflepuff, Zack, Slytherin. That is so off. So the actual results ended up being I was Slytherin.
Yeah.
Keith was Ravenclaw.
Right.
And then you and Zack were both Hufflepuff.
Badger pride.
We have discovered that as we have aged, we have changed. When I took the test as a wee lad, I would get either Slytherin or Gryffindor, depending.
Which is very common and true.
Right,
They're very close.
Every test I've ever taken was me as a Gryffindor, and then we take this real Harry Potter houses quiz, and all of a sudden I'm a Hufflepuff, and it's a big scandal, and you know what? I at first wanted to fight it, I was resistant, and then I realized that maybe 22-year-old Ned, when he was at Yale University, was a Gryffindor, but family man Ned with a baby, father of two, takes the things a little slower. Maybe I am a Hufflepuff, but I do need to get all new merch.
Yeah, you only bought Gryffindor. Yeah. Corrected.
Next up, we got BuzzFeed fandom. Let's rewind the clock to our former employer, BuzzFeed.
Keith and Becky have a going to Outback Steakhouse for Valentine's Day tradition.
Hell yeah, that's true. And I like to think that we popularized other people going to Outback on Valentine's Day. Because the first time we went, honestly, nobody was there, and we thought, this is a great choice.
It was kind of like intentional counter-programming.
Yeah, we were like, oh, no one will be there because it's not actually romantic at all. So we went, and then we bragged about it to all our friends. And the next year that I went, it was slammed. And I was mad. And then the next year I went, they wouldn't take reservations because they knew how slammed they'd get. We made it a thing where we'd like bring all of our friends. We had like a party at 8.
I've gone.
We'd get a little loaded on the giant beers, and then we'd go watch one of the porny movies that came out, like the 50 Shades. And I typically fell asleep because I had drank a lot of beer. But it is, I kid you not, one of the best prime ribs you can buy no matter where you live. It's good. It's really good. Where else do you get to order a whole onion and eat it like a king? A few other steakhouses, but that's the one that really popularized it.
Keith's favorite video game is Dance Dance Revolution. Incorrect.
I think his current favorite video game is the Mario Kart, where you can make a little toy car go around your apartment.
I think this was his favorite video game as a child. It's definitely his favorite arcade game.
It was.
There's a truth in here.
There's a truth in here.
And a deep truth.
A deep truth. I competed in a DDR competition in high school. Corrected.
All right, that's it. Thanks for fact-checking the internet with us. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
I'm a little disappointed that there aren't more falsehoods about us. I think we need to spread some more insidious rumors about the Try Guys. What is that? Keith had an affair with Meghan Markle and has 7 toes?